the greatest of all time, joined us earlier today for a beautiful en français conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is the man who has the most medals in the history of the Olympics since King Leonidas days. 28 total medals, 23 gold medals, live boots on the ground in France. Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT of the water, Michael Phelps. Hey,
how are you?
Hey, fantastic. Thank you so much for making time. I know you've been incredibly busy enjoying the hell out of the Olympics as a spectator. Is that an accurate depiction of what you've been doing over there? How has it been not competing?
Bro, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, watching my teammates, ex-teammates, and future Olympic stars compete for a gold medal it's better than I could ever imagine. Honestly, you know, having Tokyo happen where I was there in the stands and no fans felt so weird. And now you're able to have everybody back here together. I think that's, like, for me, it's what really the Olympics is all about. So being able to have everybody from all over the world come together and to stand on the top of the podium and listen to their national anthem play while they have a gold medal around their neck, there's nothing better.
Yeah, we talked a little bit yesterday about that Australia lady on the news down there talking about the United States national anthem obviously playing and how disgusted she gets and yada, yada, yada as you move from one side of a balcony in Paris. Beautiful penny.
Yeah,
trying to get better Wi-Fi, guys. You know, trying to get better service.
You're a professional. You've been on TV here, okay? Right. You've been crushing it on TV. We appreciate that. It looks beautiful over there. But we listened to that news in Australia, that lady talk, and then they showed your reaction. Then they showed it to the swim team night one, which we're going to dive into some of the big moments that have happened in swimming already in Paris here in a matter of moments. But I saw a couple of those podium situations in. Like, I think it was when Marchand, he breaks your Olympic record in the medley for, I don't know the proper title. You get
4
it. Boom. Yeah, I was so close. I was so close. He breaks your record, Olympic record, and wins in his home country. And that place seemingly was awesome, which goes back to your point about the fans being there and how electric it all was. And then whenever he's standing on the podium in his home country, everybody in that arena is singing the French national anthem, which might be the longest one. It felt like it was a long one. But if you're in second or third place, that has to be the longest minute and a half, 2 minutes of your life, because you don't even exist. You're a silver medalist in the Olympics. You got third place in the entire world at the Olympics. Massive moment. When you go back to high school, bingo. When you go back to your hometown, they're going to give you a parade.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be like, "This is you."
Without question.
Yeah, but in that moment, when the national anthem is playing, you don't even exist. That's the feeling, huh? That everybody's kind of. That has to feel. Literally on top of the world. And Marchand obviously is going to experience that a lot. He's young and he's already a guy, but that feels like a moment that you're really like hunting. Is that an accurate?
Oh, man. It's absolutely the best. There's nothing better than standing on the national there's nothing better than standing on the top of the podium, listening to your national anthem play, and a gold medal around your neck. Literally, it's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. I've experienced a lot, but honestly, what he's experiencing now in his home country is nothing what I've ever experienced. When he was swimming that 400 IM, every stroke he came up for breaststroke, you could hear the crowd would time their yells perfectly. When he would come up, they would yell. When he would go down, it would be silent. It was, I've never seen anything like that in the swimming pool in my entire life. It was so electric, so cool. What he's going to have a chance to do, I think tomorrow night, he's got 2 doubles, 200 fly, 200 breaststroke within an hour, which is easy. 2 events in an hour is simple to be able to recover and swim down. He's done that routine before. It should be no problem for him tomorrow. But the guys coming for him are going to give him a run.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he has the bullseye, and I assume that was the case coming in, right? I think he's training with your coach, and everybody know he was potentially going to break your record. And how do you feel about it? Because we watched you kind of watch all this unfold. Positive, jovial, understand that records are meant to be broke, seemingly. You have to act like that, too, I think, because there's a lot of cameras on you. How do you feel about Marchand? And
it's just me. That's how I really am. I honestly believe, for me, nobody believed I was able to do the things that I was trying to do, right? But I did deep down inside. And it's the same thing for him. A lot of people said my records were going to be unbroken, untouched. No one would ever do this, that, and the other. But clearly it's not that. And for me, I love it. I love being able to see, a kid, a young man being able to set up a dream, right? Have a dream, go out there, put in the work, and put together the pieces that give him a chance to do this, right? He understands what it takes, and he is swimming with my old coach. Him and I have so many similarities. Last Olympics, he was 6th place. My first Olympics, I was 5th place. So, being able to have those feelings, it gives you a lot of motivation to really come back and to give yourself a fighting chance to win a gold medal, right? And that's what he did. The very second night in Paris, he rips a gold medal in front of his home country. Like, good God, it's a dream come true to start the Olympics.
Have you talked to him at all? Have you got a chance to see him? Did you say, bonjour, ça va, muy bien, the whole thing? Have you done that with Marchand?
I shot him a video. Look, if people were sending me a bunch of videos and this, that, and the other, I'm not sure I'd get back to him all.
Oh!
He hasn't responded,
Whoa!
But I understand.
I'm the king
He's
of the pool.
got a lot of things going on.
Yeah. Je suis king of the pool now, okay? You will wait on unread Michael Phelps. No, but I do appreciate your support of him and of swimming as a whole currently, and I assume he appreciates the hell out of it as well. Let's run through a couple other big moments that have happened through the Olympics, because we have secured rights to run some Olympic stuff, which I don't think anybody outside of NBC has been able to do. So shout out to the people at NBC, Peacock, and USA for allowing us to do this. Let's talk about some of the.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's not get too loud about it, but let's certainly acknowledge the situation that is taking place here. Women's 100 fly, obviously massive storyline. You've been in the building for all of these, electrifying clearly, but America dominant, and that's how we need to see this entire thing. And Husk beating Walsh was a big time deal. I don't think anybody really expected that, right?
For me, you literally just pulled the video up in one spot of the race that I think was super crucial for Gretchen. Being able to hit her wall. I think she missed her wall, her 50 wall. I think she was a little long on it, which made her be a little bit kind of shallow at the break. So that might have cost her the race. But look, nonetheless, to be able to have the U.S. go 1-2 in this event, that's something to be proud of. Right? You know what I mean? We're the number 1, number 2 best swimmers in the world. So to be able to bring that, I think, is a huge momentum boost. We spoke earlier about the Aussie-USA rivalry. And look, any chance we have this opportunity to go 1-2, you see the Aussies down at the bottom of the cap there, or bottom of the pool there. We have this chance. That's a huge Mo swing. And in these races, in these meets, you need something like that, especially when it's 8-9 days. Any little race like this it does wonders for the team, right? It's like making a big play in football, picking one off, running one to the house, right? It's something like that. So that's something that's so important, and something for us, for me, was really important about getting off to the right foot. For me, the 400 IM was the very first day, and that race was kind of one of my bread and butters. So winning that gold medal, or Ryan and I going 1-3, 1-2, whatever it might be. I didn't go 1-3. He went 1. I got 4th. But the difference.
This guy sucks.
I had a shitty Olympics that time. All right, come on, guys.
Yeah. Maybe you could have patted the record of having the most medals in the history of the sport. You talk about getting off to a good start for yourself. I think for the United States swimming team, that 4x1 was real early in the Olympics. I think that's day 1. Yeah. Our men's 4x1 get a massive win. Old buddy goes 46.7, I think was the number that was being talked about. And I guess he's just flying. Yeah, I guess he's like a freak show physically. They say he's a backstroker who freestyled the fastest.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Hunter Armstrong. The guy is massive. He towers over top of me, and he can fly. He's had a great Olympics. Him and Caleb, this back half really kind of sealed the deal. But look, this is a whole entire process, right? We had the morning guys that gave us the chance to set up for this relay, right? Those guys don't get the opportunity to swim at night. So for those who don't know, we take 6 guys in the 100 freestyle. So 2 of the 4 that swim in the morning will have a chance to swim at night with the 2 fastest 100 freestylers. So we were able to get the right team, the right order, and I think that was the important thing. The order is such a crucial part of that relay, and we nailed it right on the head. Australia put Chalmers on the end, who is, I think he holds 5 of the top 10 times in history, and he's probably one of the biggest dogs at the end of a relay you can possibly have.
Well, I like the way I dressel, They basically said...
Don't get me wrong. That guy's a horse, too. Look, I've never taken anything wrong.
No. You're just complimenting others. Yes, completely complimenting others.
I know. I'll say this about Caleb. Look, the start of the trials, I think he started off a little slower than he probably would have expected, but I think he kind of got into his groove towards the end, and I think that's what you're seeing here. He's a competitor. He's somebody who knows how to race at this level. He's watched some of the best do it. So watch what happens with him. I think he's going to have a great 100 fly. That 50 free is going to be cutthroat. Going to come down to the touch. That race, the 50 important. That's somebody that, as a non-swimming fan, that's a race that everybody always looks at, right? It's the fastest race, 20 seconds. It's going to be quick. But if you don't have a good start, if you don't have a good finish, you lose the race by 1/10 to 2/10.
Oh, heartbreaker. 4 years, got to wait. And it's 1/10 of a second, or it wasn't a reach enough, which is why the Olympics are absurd. And you talked about, starting out a little slower or whatever. There seems to be a strategy to qualifying and then the finals. But in backstroke, it almost got us because Murphy, our actual wagon, almost didn't make it. Ty has a question for you, Phelps.
Yeah, Michael, I think we are pretty much past that. But in terms of the strategy during qualifying, I think I heard one of the announcers saying, hey, whoever it was, they're just trying to get a feel for the pool right now. They just want to get in there and kind of go. What is the strategy for that? How much does it matter, what lane you're in, and how conscious do you have to be of, hey, there's no point in burning myself out in qualifying when I just need to be top whatever to actually, get to into the pool when I'm trying to medal?
For sure. So there's everything below a 400. So it's 200, hundreds, and 50. So you swim it 3 times: prelims, semifinals, and finals. So for me, the strategy was just basically win your heat. If you're in one of the last 2 or 3 circle seeded heats, so it's based off of times. Seeding is based off of times, whatever your seed time is. So if you're in one of the last 2 or 3 circle seeded heats, you're able to then see what the rest of the field is doing. So say I'm in the second semifinal heat, which for me was always something very important, right? Because I wanted to see what the first semifinal heat would do. Then that would give me an opportunity to then judge my speed, my control, this, that, and the other through that race. So for me, basically, it was just about winning, right? If I win my heat, it doesn't matter. So you're basically just controlling your physical energy because it's an 8-day meet, right? So some of these guys are swimming 3, 4, 5 times. Some of these females are swimming 4, 5, 6 times, right? So over that week, you're trying to control that energy. So you're just doing enough just to get in. And I think you look some of the big teams like Australia, US, China, Japan, Italy, France, we have some of the depth where we're able to play with our speed a little bit more than other countries are. But I think there are certain people that race the prelims harder than the others. So it all depends on kind of where you're seated, who you have next to you. But there's definitely a lot of conservation of energy throughout this week, because when it's time to go and it's a final, you want to make sure you're fully rested and fully amped and ready to pop one off.
Yeah, you talked about Marchand having 2 finals within an hour, and that's no problem. And I remember the story about you. They would track you pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, this guy's got. What was the shortest time you had in between finals?
19 minutes.
Yeah, and they tracked the entire 19 minutes. I think they even went picture-in-picture at one point, and you put the headphones back on, got wheezy, speaking the gospel, back at it.
100.
Yeah, had the whole thing. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday, because it was this guy just had to sell his entire body out in this last race. Swimming sucks, too. Swimming is not fun.
It's hard.
It is
it's hard.
Every muscle in your body.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, 19 minutes, you got to go take on an entire pool of swimmers who did not have to do that. They've actually been focusing just on this for their entire lives.
Yep.
Go do it, Phelps. Go do it, fish. Go do it, fish.
But I think in that moment, for me, my 19 minutes was 200 fly, and then I had the 4x2 100 freestyle relay. And in that race, throughout my career, I'm not going to lie, we were pretty dominant. I mean, we damn near won almost every one by 15 or 20 meters. So there wasn't really many people that were close to us in that race. So, I did have that comfort, but still at that point, for me, I'm always trying to rip a time. There were times where I was trying to lead off, or where I would lead off and I'd try to post a world record or American record, try to do something really quick, just try to rip one. Or they put me on the anchor and I just have to hold everybody off. But Team USA has had an amazing history of relays and tradition in relays. Tonight's 4x2 will be good. It will be a challenge for the U.S. Sorry, I don't know if the women's or the men's 4x2 will be a challenge for the U.S. team, because the Great Britain team has 2 of the top 4 200 freestylers.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter once you get in our water.
Yeah, whatever.
Once you get in our water, it's our water. Great Britain? I didn't even heard of them. I didn't even know these Australians. I thought who we worried about. I didn't even know Brits were Proltman and Poole.
Me neither.
They're not.
Oh, Edie. Is that the Edie guy?
Zach?
Petey.
Petey. He's a dog. They talk about this guy as if he's an actual. Okay, so maybe the Brits aren't that bad. So the next big one, I don't want to say the next big one because all of them are big in the swimming world for finals. And today there's a bunch this afternoon, and then obviously re-aired on Paris Prime Time on NBC, which is fantastic to watch and kind of round up everything that's taken place throughout the day in Paris, which the boys are going to ask about. But tonight the 4x2 is the one that is going to be the headliner.
Yeah, the 4x2 is going to be a nice one, and then you have the women's 100 back. We got two of the fastest women in the world. One of them is a world record holder. Reagan, I think, looked powerful last night in the semifinals. Her last 50 was unbelievable. I heard her say she's going to go fast, faster, and fastest. So let's see what she rips tonight. I mean, we could see a new world record here tonight. I know she's feeling fresh. I was going back and forth with her last night, and she's ready to go.
I can't wait to watch. It's like the Kentucky Derby every single time.
Incredible.
And the energy is in it. It's beautiful. Do I hear a baby back there? Is this a full family trip?
We got Nico here. My 6-month-old. Our 6-month-old. It's not mine. Sorry, our 6-month-old. Smart. We got him with us, and I think he just woke up from a nap.
Hey, well, good morning, Nico. I assume you're going to be dominating these games at some point if you want to, or being a president, or whatever the hell you want to do. But let Nico know, first drop on our show, golden.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, just absolutely nice little touch in the back there. Happy it's a family trip you're getting to France there, which D-Bud has a question about.
Yeah, obviously you're out there in Paris now as a contributor on the media side, but you're a competitor for a lot of these games. What's your favorite non-swimming event to attend as a fan?
Well, tonight we're going to women's gymnastics, so that's a pretty epic one. We get to see all the girls go out there, all the women go out there and do their thing. And for me, I think we're going to see women's basketball, men's basketball when they get back into Paris. Dana Taurasi was Beckett's, my 6-year-old soccer coach this year, so
nice.
We can't wait to go out and support her.
She was toying with.
Oh yeah.
She did the
smiling.
She did this trick to the Japanese team. Yeah, while laughing in her face. And then Pops is 6'9", and the tallest person that was on Japan was 6'1", I think.
Bit of a mismatch.
Yeah, China's going to be a problem.
A little bit.
Yeah, that feels like we got an advantage.
For sure.
Let's go win this thing. I can't wait to see us just kind of
100%.
sweep it. Medal count, we're at the
Gold
top.
medals, baby.
We need more gold. Hey, we need more golds. We're dancing right now. We're dancing right now.
We need a lot more golds.
But we're getting. I mean, speed walking's right around the corner.
Bingo.
And we got that. We got that on exactly.
We got track coming up too. Yeah, track is going to be hyped.
Yeah, and swim's gonna. Hey, let's not get crazy.
Yeah.
But for these Olympic Games and winning, you would be the proper person to ask this question because there's something kind of cooking with the gymnastics. Go ahead.
Phelps, you mentioned with the swimming, it's an 8-day meet, and there's a lot of events, every single day. And you mentioned the gymnastics. One of the gymnasts, Vary, I believe, she said she woke up and she wasn't feeling very well. And basically, you work all that time to just wake up on the day of your event to feel like shit is a pretty tough situation. For swimmers and for gymnasts and all the Olympians, what are the remedies you can do to kind of like make yourself feel better if you do wake up just feeling completely off like you haven't the entire time leading up to that day?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like for me, I was very fortunate to where I never had that. I never had any sickness, I never had any injuries, I never had anything. And I think we've all been through so many different situations as athletes, right? Whether it's in the field of play or off the field of play. So I think in that moment, it's like we know our bodies better than any other people on the planet do, right? And we're surrounded by some of the best doctors. I can speak to the USA swimming staff. For me, I was always with my trainer. Like my trainer was a national team trainer, and if I ever had an issue, he was always there. He was somebody that the whole team trusted. So we were super fortunate to have that. But I think it's just it's probably situational dependent, right? I think Petey just came out the other day and said he has COVID, right? So it's like that means his Olympics is basically over. So it's So I mean, just imagine all these people from all over the world coming together. You have no idea what's going to happen, right? So it's just trying to figure out what you can control.
All right, Phelps. Well, enjoy the hell out of it over there with the family. I hope you're getting the love and recognition, from all the Olympic fans for all the decades of commitment you put into your sport so we could enjoy the hell out of every 4 years whenever you would hit the water and just be obnoxious about how much better we were than everybody. And that next class is going to take it to the next step, right? That's what we're thinking? Next class?
100%. 100%.
Oh, yeah, you're the
man. I mean, as Khaled said, all I do is win. That's what I did, baby. All I did was win.
I'm happy. I'm happy you are at that point because you legitimately did.
Yeah.
And I assume there was time.
Now I can say it. Yeah,
but I assume
never said it during my career, but I'll say it now. Yes, I did. I worked my ass off, and now I won. Whatever. What about it?
Boom! More than anybody in the history, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Phelps. Thank you. See you, Nico. Yeah. Happy Nico and Michael could stop by earlier. Obviously, I appreciate that he's at the point now where it's like, yeah, they're showing me a lot of races I was in. I won them all.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
He's reliving it all, I assume, too.
Oh, yeah.
Think about all the people that have worked at the Olympics or worked for NBC for production with the Olympics for how long they have, covering him since he's a teenager all the way through now with his family. Baby Nico's over there. The amount of, good to see you, good to see you. The people that were filming him in his warm-ups, the people that were tracking him, those people, behind the scenes that have been associated with the Olympics for however long they have been, he's catching up with all of them right now. That has to be really cool moments for him every single time he has that, which is probably happening every few minutes as he's in France. We talked to him before we talked to him on the show to see if we could have a conversation with him, and obviously the gymnastics are happening right now. So he is in the arena. We weren't able to do it live with him, but his wife's over there, baby's over there. They're having a fantastic time. I'm happy he's getting a victory. It feels like he's potentially getting a victory lap because that dude committed 7 days a week for how many years did he tell us a couple weeks ago?
14 or 15 or something.
7 days a week to swimming for his entirety of his life. They talk about there's child stars where child stars are forced into limelight. Your life is much different now. Boom, 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 boom. It's Phelps has been working his ass off at a full-time job, more full-time than any job is allowed to be. 7 days a week since he's life and everything is a little bit different through the eyes of goggles for most of them, and he has somehow maintained a level of, even though he's commenting about how successful he is, being a human still, and it's we're very appreciative. I just cold call FaceTime him, he just answers
every time.
So cool.
It's a cool thing, and I think he's giving speeches to people and opening up about his mindset on stuff and things he's been through. What a weapon. Michael Phelps is a weapon.